More than 180 schools have been affected by the recent storms in KwaZulu-Natal. The province is set to kick off the 2022 academic year on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the provincial government is calling for a state of disaster to be declared. So what's the plan going forward? Let's speak now to Head of Communications at the KwaZulu-Natal Education Department, Mr. Muzi Mahlambis. So thank you very much for your time and for speaking to us this evening. Can you tell us first off the extent of damage done to these 180 schools? Is it purely a clean-up operation, or is there also a lot of structural repairs that's needed? Mr. Mahlambis, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Apologies. I was asking about the extent of damage to these 180 schools. Can you tell us whether it's purely a clean-up operation from here going forward, or whether there are also serious structural repairs needed at these schools?
Yeah, we can confirm as the Department of Education in KwaZulu-Natal to say we have taken stock of the damages that were caused by a storm in December. Our infrastructure colleagues have been not resting, working around the clock to ascertain the damage. That is why at the meeting that was chaired by the MEC on Thursday, on the 13th of January, where we were discussing a host of issues in regard to the state of readiness for the opening of schools in the province. That's when then it was reported at that meeting to say 186 schools can be reported as having been affected by the storms. And 23 of those are worse damage kind of schools that will need a lot of money and resources to renovate them. Out of those 186, 90 of the schools will need mobile classrooms, which is the process that we have started looking into the provision of such. But we take leverage of the fact that learners are still rotating. So in some of the schools that we have identified as needing the mobile classrooms will not be adversely affected due to the fact that not all learners are coming to school at a go.
So we are running out of time. Wednesday does not leave the department much time to get all of these arrangements in place. What is the plan of action for the 23 schools that have been badly damaged? Will they reopen on Wednesday, or will they remain closed until it's safe for pupils to return?
It's all systems go. As I've indicated, that our infrastructure colleagues are working around the clock, including IDT. But the other 23 schools that are worse damaged, there is a plan to accommodate educators on Monday when they come, and subsequently the learners when they come on Wednesday.
How will these learners be accommodated? I'm asking the question, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but it seems unlikely that such large-scale repairs will be able to be completed in less than 4 days' time. Will these schools also be provided with mobile classrooms by Wednesday so that learners can learn in a safe environment protected from the elements?
Yes, we have already begun the process of doing that. Like I have indicated, that there are 23 schools that needs urgent attention or intervention, as it were, and there are plans that have started even yesterday. Being Friday, where delivery in some of these schools in terms of mobile classrooms have started. But there are also plans as to how the other learners in other 90 schools that need mobile classrooms are going to be accommodated. And our assessment is that even if there are damages that were caused by the storm, but there are adequate classroom spaces that could be utilized with proviso that we are still on rotational basis in terms of the timetable.
Last question for you, accessibility to these schools. In many areas, storms have also caused significant damage to roads. In cases where roads are not tarred, access to schools may be very difficult and unsafe for pupils. Has this also been looked into by the department to ensure that pupils and staff at these schools can access the school premises safely?
Yeah, this is an intergovernmental issue, and we're approaching it as such with other departments because these storms not only affect our learners, but also community members in those particular areas. So with COCTA and other departments, they are involved in assisting in this regard.
Thank you so much for your time. That was the Head of Communications at the KwaZulu-Natal Education Department, Muzi